Imagine life as a progress bar. Some people start ahead at plus 50 with doors open, paths laid out. Others start from behind at negative 100, spending years just to reach level 0. That invisible gap, it changes everything. In this video, I will explain why those first decades matter so much, why it's harder to build inner strengths when the outer foundations aren't there, and how, with time, people who started way behind can still catch up and sometimes even outpace those who began ahead. Today, we know without any doubt that the more hardships you face early in life, the higher your risk for lifelong problems, from heart disease and depression to even early death. So let's start with what I call the outer necessities. These are the things you don't get to choose at birth. Your family and social support, the resources and opportunities around you, your identity and how society treats you, the stability of your environment, and where you are born, geography, community, even access to technology. Together, these five factors largely decide your starting level. The World Health Organization calls them the social determinants of health, the conditions in which we are born, grow, live, and work. They explain why two children born on the very same day can end up with completely different life chances. What research makes clear is that these outer conditions often matter more for long-term health and well-being than medical care alone. And when they are missing or unstable, the stress doesn't just limit opportunities, it literally gets under the skin, reshaping biology and influencing future health. On the other side are the inner necessities, the qualities you can build for yourself, like your mindset and perspective, emotional resilience, discipline and daily habits, curiosity and learning, and a sense of purpose and connection. These are the great equalizers, but without outer supports, they take much longer to grow. Even Maslow's hierarchy shows this. If your basic needs for safety and belonging aren't met, developing focus, discipline, or a deeper sense of purpose becomes a far steeper climb. This means that if your childhood was unstable, most of your energy goes into survival. You don't get the safe practice space to build trust or focus. Mentors, exposure, and opportunities are delayed. Neuroscience shows that chronic early stress can actually change the brain, reducing growth in the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for planning, decision making, and focus. Let me show you how this plays out in real life. And maybe as you hear this, you will recognize parts of it in your own story. Imagine your life begins in a broken home. No steady love, no safety net. Your family moves from one cramped rental to another. Food is just enough to survive, but rarely nutritious. Headaches, fatigue, and emotional wounds become the normal. School isn't a refuge either. Teachers pile on more harm than help. By your 20s, frustration turns into anger, born like a shield. Every job is about survival, night shifts, long commutes, work that drains your body and spirit. Over the years, that weight carves itself into your health. Stress shows up as illness, anxiety, depression, even heart problems that arrive far too soon. Doctors give it a name, but you know it as the scar left by years of carrying too much weight for too long. And yet, you don't stop. After decades, you finally claw your way back to level 0. To someone who started at plus 20, that might look late, but for you, it is the summit. Now compare that with someone who had all the basics from the start. Steady family love, early coaching, care that taught emotional balance, and a safe sandbox to practice in. Every setback was softened by support, every risk buffered by resources. With doors opening early, skills and confidence stacked almost automatically. His climb was quicker, smoother, almost invisible to him. History shows this contrast clearly. Nelson Mandela, after 27 years in prison, became president at 75. Stephen Hawking, diagnosed with ALS in his early 20s, reshaped science for decades. Oprah Winfrey overcame poverty and abuse to rise as a global voice. Many others, despite horrific adversities, were able to break through. Their inner strengths, mindset, resilience, habits, and purpose surfaced later, not because they were lazy, but because life forced them to start from further back. It's all interconnected. Without the outer necessities, building the inner ones is a far steeper climb, but it's never impossible. Life is unfair like this. Some people had an entire village lifting them up, so if it took you 30 years just to feel normal, you're not behind. You've been laying your foundation brick by brick all alone. That isn't failure, that's strength, so keep going. As we get older, we learn to navigate life better. A bit of stability and earning power gives you choices that help rebuild the basics. First, set a clear direction for where you want to go. Picture your life, then backtrack from Z to A. Psychology shows that having a clear goal increases persistence even under stress. Second, guard your health, the engine that carries you forward. Chronic illness or burnout drains the very energy you need to climb further. And science shows progress isn't just mental. Research finds that therapy and stress reduction can lower inflammation and even reshape brain circuits. Proof that the body too can heal once stability arrives. Third, clear your emotional baggage so it doesn't turn into illness. Unresolved wounds resurface in the body. Trauma and long term stress fuel inflammation, raising risks for heart disease and depression. These steps don't erase unfairness, but they make the climb faster once stability arrives. The truth is, the strengths forged in struggle run deeper. Surviving instability builds resilience, empathy, and perspective, things privilege can't manufacture. So if you're climbing from negative 100, remember, being late is not being less. Your story carries the weight of storms endured, and that in itself is a power few ever know. If this message resonated, share it with someone climbing their own mountain, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.